Hi, my name is Marcy. Welcome to my channel, Amnicon Studio. On this channel, I share videos of my homesteading adventures on my property in northern Wisconsin, along with gardening and any animal tales I have to share. I also share about my hobbies, which include cross-stitching, knitting, crocheting, spinning, and a few other things. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you stick around. And if you are a returning watcher, thank you for coming back. Last time I recorded, I think, was earlier mid-January. I've been mildly busy, according to my needle book, my book of days. Although there was a time there I wasn't doing anything. So of course, since it's been so long, I started getting a little nervous and overwhelmed when I was getting ready to start recording again. Pulling out everything and seeing all the stuff that I had sitting waiting to be shared. I've got some finished objects. I got a few works in progress and one cross-stitch chart that I want to start on March 1st. I've got things around me. I tried to get myself a little organized before I started up. I have show notes on my computer, so if I'm looking down, that's because I'm trying to read what's next. First thing I want to share is a cross-stitch piece that I was working on back in December. It's a project that I started last year. No, actually 2023, and then put down for a good long time, and then let's see, December I decided to give it some attention, and I finished it at the beginning of January. I was working on one of the ornaments from Primrose Stitches White Christmas 2022. I made the snowman. I apologize if I'm a little scattered. The fabric I used was 14 count Aida. It was Hobby Lobby. I need something to put behind it. Here we go. I stitched on 14 count Aida, Hobby Lobby Zygarde White Opal, where it's the kind that's got the sparkles in it. I used the cauliflower colors. I haven't started any of the other ornaments yet. I have to say, I was trying to mess with the lighting a little bit. It got really sunny and bright outside, and now we must have a little bit of clouds hitting. There will be no cameos from the chickens because we are in second spring right now. Not second spring, first false spring, and the backyard is a pond. And all the little paths in the snow are flooded, so they're not going to be venturing to the front of the yard to come visit, sorry to say. Next thing I have is, I was calling this my blue striped vanilla socks. The yarn I used was blue raspberry from Patton's Toy Sock yarn. And I started these on October 31st and finished them on January 8th. And here's the first one. And here's the second one. I have not decided if I'm going to keep these myself or if I'm going to save them and give them as a gift to somebody. There's a few people I know that really like hand knit socks, so I just may save them for them. Oh, I gotta pause for the next one. Okay, I'm back. In 2023 or 2024, I don't remember which now, I knit myself an emotional support chicken. Now, I think these went viral. I honestly can't remember when. I am not on Ravelry, so I don't, you know, things trickle down to me slowly. But I made an emotional support chicken and named it Furby Jr. Now, if you don't know who Furby Jr. is, she was my house hen that I brought. I hatched her out in 2020. She was attacked by a hawk, and I brought her into the house to nurse her back to health. She never regained full use of one of her eyes, and she didn't reintegrate with the flock no matter how many times I tried. So she stayed in the house with me, and she passed away almost 2 years ago, and she was my buddy and I miss her very much. So to show again, Furby Jr., because she was a partridge Brahma. Well, and it feels a lot longer than this, but it really wasn't that long ago. I decided she needed a boyfriend, a boy toy, if you will. So I went out to the she shed and was looking in my yarn, and I came across some yarn that I thought, hey, this would be good for a rooster, because roosters are pretty colorful. So I stitched this pretty quickly, actually. January 3rd to January 13th, 2025. The yarn was Red Heart and the colorway of Favorite Stripes. The colors themselves were rainbow. And this is what it looks like. Now this one I knit on smaller needles than what was recommended for in the pattern, which I think was maybe US size 8. I used the US size 5, 3.75 millimeters. So he's a little bit smaller. He's a little bit smaller than Furby Jr., but that's okay. She still loves him. I have them sitting out in my living room right now, keeping me company until I settle on a permanent spot for them both. And then I crocheted myself a shawl. Unfortunately, I don't have a project card because I can't find where I put them. And I looked for quite a while for them, but last year, right at the end of the last year, I think it was, I decided I was gonna make a shawl pattern that I saw the Crow River Stitcher make, and the pattern is Annabelle Shawl by Bedelia Crochet. And I put away the hook. I'm sure I used the called for hook, which is a size H 5 millimeter. I feel so discombobulated right now. I don't know where my book of days went. Found it. I put it away with my Primrose ornament. Okay, my Annabelle shawl I started January 19th. and I finished it February 13th, 2025. The yarn I used is Lion Brand Mandala. In the Happy colorway. These are the colors. And I may end up having to insert a video here to show it off. But I used 2 full balls of the mandala yarn and most of a 3rd one. And wound up with a ball of yarn that is the size of a tennis ball. Not sure what I'm gonna do with this, so it'll just go in my scrap stash for now. But here is the final piece. Very bright and cheery. I'm really happy with it. I was first thinking about giving this as a gift to somebody, and then I decided that I was going to keep it for myself. Works in progress. I've got 1 pair of vanilla socks on the needles that I started last weekend, and 4 cross stitches. I'll show the vanilla socks right now. I'm using Knit Picks Felice yarn in the Spring Blooms colorway. This is old stash. I'm not sure how long I've had it, but I am already down the leg and turn the heel and am ready to start working down the foot. And I like these colors. They're very spring feeling, which is something that I think I need right now. It's not that it's been a particularly harsh winter, it's just I'm ready for spring. So I've been working on these mostly in the evenings. Not much stitching has been done in the mornings or when I've been riding in the car when we go to town for anything on the weekends. I've actually have been, for some reason, I've been having a hard time with these socks. The sock. The heel, when I turned the heel last night, I had to rip it out and redo it. I don't know what was going on. The stitch count was off and went sideways. And earlier in the leg, I messed something up, so I had to rip back as well. And I just kept telling myself that it's a good thing I'm not in a rush to get these done. They're just, you know, a project to keep my hands busy, but it is a little frustrating when you have to rip back a little bit and redo something, especially when there's nothing fancy going on. But I had somewhere, I did an eyelet, and I still don't know how I did it, and I tried to fix it, and it didn't work the way I thought it would, so I ended up ripping back maybe an inch past where it was because I was just so frustrated. Yeah. And that is traveling in a bag that's nothing too fancy. It was a canvas bag that I bought off Amazon. And then I got a really nice little zipper fob from a fellow Flosstuber, Patty Penn from Stitching with My Kitties. She actually sent me a few of them, and they're just so cute. And I'm glad that I was able to start utilizing them all right away. I got that one and one on another bag, but I couldn't tell you which bag it was. And then I put one on a pair of scissors. I'm working with my phone. I'm not used to it. So yeah. Next up, I've got cross stitch. First one is Hope Song, where I purchased it as a from that group on Facebook, the Handspun Needleworks. It was an exclusive, which I think I said before, I didn't really understand the exclusives on this group, because it was when I was still somewhat new to the online cross-stitching community, and I thought if I didn't order it, I wasn't going to get it at all, and I really liked it. And then I think it was released like a year later, or 6 months. I swear I was more organized when I started pulling all this stuff together. Okay, Hope Song. I started on January 3rd, 2025. Whoops. It's by Heartstring Samplery. I got it from the Facebook group I just mentioned. It is 16 count Zweigart in a taupe colorway. I purchased it as a kit, so it came with the fabric and it came with the floss, which is mostly DMC and a few Weeks Dye Works and Classic Color Works. Let's see if I get them all showing. I feel like the light is going goofy on me. That's what it looks like. I'm sure you're all wondering. And it comes with a few different ways to color your bird, your little chickadee. And let's see if it says, there's a black cap chickadee. There's 5 provided chickadees. For some reason, I'm not finding the other ones because I'm a hot mess. Oh, here we go. Maybe. Black cap chickadee, chestnut backed chickadee. Okay. Carolina chickadee, boreal chickadee, black capped, or mountain chickadee. So here is my progress. The chickadee went a lot faster than I thought it would, along with the wording. I have just a little bit left to do here, but the main thing is to finish that border. And I think if I work on it, I think each flower takes me an evening. So I still have quite a bit of stitching to do. Now I imported the chart into Pattern Keeper, but the pattern, the chart, it's broken up across 2 pages. So I think the part that I had was this part up in Pattern Keeper, and then I had to start working off the paper down here. So I don't know how many stitches I have. I wish I did. If I remember, I'll look up what I have on Pattern Keeper and put that in the show notes. But yeah, I really like this. I'm very happy with it. I'm definitely keeping this. I don't know, there's some happy memories associated with this when I think about the chickadees, because I always hear them in the backyard in the winter time. And next up I want to share is my Crested Porcupine cross stitch. This is a cross stitch I started for my birthday stitch last year, which is going to take me years and years because it's a full coverage piece. It is 18 by 11 inches. Nope, that's wrong. It's 23.14 inches by 14.14 inches because I'm stitching it on 14 count Aida. But this is what the finished piece will look like. And those new, there is a story about porcupines, and that's why I decided I wanted to stitch up a porcupine. Although at the rate it's going, it's going to be a long time. Haven't pulled this out as much as I thought I would. I wanted to make this my Sunday stitch. I haven't done that because, frankly, Sundays, weekends are usually pretty busy for me. So my husband and I are usually doing stuff around the house, running to town, getting things taken care of, and when I'm done and settled in my chair in the evening, I'm too tired to deal with confetti stitching. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So actually I'm thinking about making it a dedicated stitch for maybe one of the other nights of the week where I'm not quite so busy during the day. So maybe Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Mondays are usually, well, every other Monday is usually pretty chaotic for me for work, and I don't want to have to think when it's all said and done. And then every other Friday is another day that's sometimes chaotic for me, and I don't want to have to think too hard when I sit down to work on a project. Okay, so January 27th, 2024 is when I started it. I've got 1,457 stitches out of 64,152 stitches. I am 2.27% done, and that is it so far. So I have got a long ways to go before I get to that porcupine. And that actually could be part of why it's been hard for me to pull this out and stitch, because I know it's going to take a long time before I get to something interesting and fun on it. I mean, the background, I don't know if you could see, just there's a lot going on in that background, and I'm not too worried if I accidentally put a color in the wrong stitch because nobody's going to know. And I just realized I forgot to share the floss for my Crested Porcupine, which there is 48 or 49 colors for it. I mean, they're more muted. I'm gonna have to check the lighting here. Hold please. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Of course, it doesn't help that I've got this going on and it's real bright and kind of blowing things out, but if I close it, then that corner is just a little too dark. Okay, here we go. Here's the colors. And they're still pretty tidy, so you can tell I haven't done a lot with them lately. Okay, in this bag from Fat Quarter Shop, and also has a scissor fob from Patty Penn, or not scissor fob, zipper fob, is my Mother's Garden project by Blackbird Designs. I started this on January 1st, 2025. I am using the DMC conversion for floss. A chart was given to me as a gift by my sister-in-law. I am using Belfast linen, white, 32 count. And so far I've made most of the border. Here we go. I stitched the little bird because I was getting tired of working on the border and I wanted to see a different color. And the border is going faster than I thought it would. It's made for good TV stitching where I haven't had the chart out with me. It's supposed to finish at 8" by 13 5/8 inch on 30 count. And I'm doing 32 count. So does that mean that it's going to be a little bit smaller? The Belfast linen I had in stash for a while. I don't know what prompted me to buy it from Hobby Lobby, but I did. It was probably 5 years ago, at least. So I'm gonna have a decent amount of this fabric left over. And I enjoy stitching on it, but I've been kind of bouncing around between the projects and I haven't spun the tiny wheel. Is that what it's called? The tiny decisions wheel? Because every night that I decide to work on something, I've decided fairly easily what it is that I want to work on, what I feel like working on. And then the last works in progress that I have to share is One Stitch at a Time. I was trying to think of the name of it. One Stitch at a Time by La-Di Da Stitches. This is a stitch along in the... It's a Facebook group. I'll have to put the name down here because I'm drawing a blank on it. And I'm not a stitch along, start along type person, but I saw this one and I thought I would give it a try. I'm putting no pressure on myself, although I think I'm doing pretty good progress-wise. Let's see. This is what the chart looks like. I'm using Charles Craft DMC linen, 28 count in the tea-dyed colorway. I'm using the DMC conversion. Oh, perfect. And this is my progress so far. I keep forgetting to put something behind it. This is my progress so far. The lady that runs the group, she broke the chart down in different parts for 10 months out of 2025 that you can work on. I put this in Pattern Keeper, and the chart was broken up across 2 pages, left and right. So if you can see, the chart, the project fits right in my Q-snap. This is the very bottom, and I just need to start working on it. I decided I'm going to work on the whole left side first before working on the right side. And I think for January and February, they've got you working right across on the top. This was a fun little bird to stitch. It was colorful in a way that I wasn't expecting. The house is gonna be this blue color. If maybe this color. I don't have the stuff in front of me, but I think it's gonna be this one, DMC 169. I'm thinking I'm gonna change the color of the house to red, because that is the color of my house. My house, I think the color is called brick red. But if I change the color here, I suppose I'll need to change it down here as well. So I'm debating, I'm thinking about it. Because it seems silly to me to stitch a blue house, because I've never lived in a blue house. I can't remember if I shared the colors. So, progress has been going pretty good on that. I'm an Ada girl by choice. If I have the option to choose Ada, I'm gonna stitch on Ada. This year, I decided I was gonna try stitching on a couple different things that aren't Ada, and so far it's been okay. I haven't been goofing up too bad, sticking the floss in the wrong hole, and that's made me happy. I feel like some things have kind of opened up for me. So a previous project I had worked on, Edna Goes to Brunch, I used Lugana on that one, and I had a really hard time with it. And I couldn't see doing Lugana or linen ever again, but something was going on with my eyes at the time, and my eyes are better now, so I can see all the things, and it's not such a struggle anymore. So I'm really happy about that. It's nice. Okay, so that is all my current works in progress. Wow. Okay. All right. Future project, I would like to start on March 1st, and that is a bunny stitch that I want to do with Kenzie over at Mud Puppy Stitchery. Let me find the chart. Okay, I want to start Bedelia Bunny on March 1st. This is something that I saw on Mud Puppy Stitchery's channel maybe a couple months ago. And when I mentioned it, and she said, hey, you want to start it together? And I said, yeah, I'd love to. Let me find the order of the chart, get the floss. So my bunny, Pfeffer, he is not a white bunny. He's a little gray and white heathered bunny. He has gray fur. So I've changed out one of the colors on the flosses. And originally my idea was that I was going to use one thread of gray and one thread of a white color to kind of give the same color as my sweet little Pfeffer. And if I remember, I will take a picture of them and I will post it up here. Here. But if I don't, that's okay. So yeah, I haven't started it yet, but I've got all my, oh, I have my little notes down there. And I actually don't know if she has started her chart or if she's waiting for me. I've kind of not been very active on the social media on Instagram, and I suppose I'll have to reach out to her and ask. But yeah, my plan is to start this on March 1st. I have, the fabric is going to be 20 count Lugana that I got from Hobby Lobby in ivory color. And I think that'll work real nice. I was thinking about starting another crochet project. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not. It's actually, I'm kind of undecided between these little octopi that are stitched up for preemies. Once in a while, I just get the itch to crochet one of those because it's a quick project, so it satisfies an itch, and then I have something on hand that I can give to somebody down the road if I find out someone's expecting. And they're really cute little, I'll have to put a picture up here of a previous one that I've stitched. What I like about them is that the babies can grab onto the tentacles, and it's a tactile thing for them. I think when I was first reading about these, actually they're originally stitched up for preemies in the NICU, and it kept them from accidentally pulling out any cords that might be attached to them, because it also kind of reminded them of the umbilical cord. But I'm undecided between stitching one of those or making a little porcupine, little stuffy plushie that I've had the pattern for probably since 2021. I've had the yarn since then. It's all ready to go. I just need to decide, now I'm gonna make it. And shockingly, I haven't decided that I'm gonna make it in the 4 years or so since I've had everything ready to go. I like to buy stuff and put it in stash for a time when I've decided, okay, now's the time I'm gonna make this item. And sometimes it's sooner rather than later, but when the urge hits, I know I have everything ready to go. So that's, you know, kind of loosey-goosey. I've been very just free-flowing this year, which is probably a good thing for me, because I think in past years, ever since I started crafting, it's like, I need to make this, and I need to have it done by such and such time because I want to make it as a gift, or I want to have this done so I can enjoy it. I can't tell you how many times that I've done that to myself, and it becomes a little more stressful because I want the finished project. I couldn't say if I'm a more of a process or a product crafter, but sometimes, yeah, I want that finished project, and other times I don't care. It's something to keep me busy, and probably, you know, my food out of my hands. I do have a few haul things. The one thing I got was because of Mother's Garden. Although you saw I didn't have Mother's Garden in a hoop or Q-snap or anything. But I've got this project going, and I was struggling with putting it in a Q-snap. Now I like both hoops and Q-snaps. Some projects I prefer one over the other. This, I was struggling with the Q-snaps. I'm not 100% sold on having it in a hoop. And so I contacted Sarah, the Northwood Stitcher. Hi, Sarah. And said, hey, I remember there was one video where she recommended a scroll frame that she got off of Temu. And I said, which one did you get? Because I'd like to give it a try. And she very kindly sent me the link to it. So I got this frame, this cross-stitch frame, scroll frame. And it's got these little clips on it. What caught my eye on it, I think she mentioned that it was a cross between a Q-snap and a scroll frame, but the fabric is held tighter on these, which is great. And I was really excited to get the the scroll frame, and it came pretty quickly. But then my problem is that I didn't leave enough fabric space between the border and the edge of the fabric to use in a scroll frame. So that was a little disappointing. Of course, if I'd known that I was gonna purchase a scroll frame, I would have left more room, because I certainly have enough, because that is the bottom of the border. So I have all this fabric. So I've been stuck putting it in just a hoop. And as soon as I can get enough stitching done at the top, I'm gonna put it on the scroll frame. Because when I did put it on the scroll frame, it was really nice to work with. It was really nice. I was a little stitching away very happily with it, but the fabric, the tension is weird when you don't have enough fabric to be gripped by those C-clamps. And then, because I've been working with smaller hoop frames and smaller Q-snaps, I think I didn't show my Hope song. I've been using in 8x8, and the reason why it's out right now is because I'm going to I need to move the fabric so I can do more stitching. I've been sitting in my chair and kind of like propping up a leg a little bit so the Q-snaps will rest, and then I can stitch with both hands. So I love stitching with both hands, and it feels really weird to me when I can't stitch with both hands, when I've got to poke and stab with the one, and I'm moving back and forth from the front to the back of the fabric with just the one hand. So I have a Hope stand, and I love my Hope stand. It's great for bigger projects. Like when the time comes for Mother's Garden to go onto the scroll frame, I'll be using my Hope stand to hold the scroll frame. So I decided to treat myself at the beginning of the month, and I ordered the Z-stand frame from, is it Bear Creek on Etsy? And it arrived yesterday, and this morning I assembled it. And here it is. Now I don't know if I know any other stitchers who actually have one of these, but I did a lot of reading online, and a lot of people like them. And I thought it would suit my needs for what I wanted, and it's pretty compact. And also I thought it would be nice to have if I ever decide to go traveling and want to bring my cross stitch with me. So I've already put a Q-snap in it and it fits real nice. Let's see. Okay, you can see that part there. Well, I didn't open it all the way, but that opens up. And the lip of one of the C-clamps, will fit, it'll hook in on up here. It's kind of hard to do this. Right there, it'll hook into that, so it's pretty stable, and then you just clamp it down. So I'm eager to give it a try this evening, if I'm up for stitching. Oh, there we go. So yeah, the product is made out of what looks like oak. It, you know, I'm guessing they make them and stain them to order, because it did take a little bit to get into the shipping system, and then UPS took their sweet time with shipping it to me. And actually it was stuck down in Chicago for the weekend, and then it was supposed to be here on Monday, and it didn't show up until yesterday, which is Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. I'm on my lunch hour. So that's it for all my exciting crafty stuff. Life update. I didn't want to say this at the beginning of the video, and I kind of addressed it over on my blog with my last blog post. I have had some health stuff pop up. What I wrote on my blog is that basically my body is rebelling like a teenager, and there's stuff going on. I don't always feel great. I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want like blog posts to be dedicated to it. I don't want to be on the video about it, kind of waxing on it, on what's going on, because it's kind of depressing. But I did say that if you're a woman of my age, you probably know or understand what's going on. I'm seeing health professionals trying to figure out what's going on and see what I can do to stop the body rebelling against me, and that is about it. I mean, there's really not much else to say about it. It's just, it is that. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, you know, I am a certain vintage. Although I've had gray hair since I was 13, so I guess I can't go by that. I haven't been watching a lot of Flosstube in the time that I wasn't feeling well. A few of my a few of my go-to channels I have been watching as soon, I try to watch them as soon as I can. I kind of feel like it's not just me who's kind of not recording as much. In January, February, there was a lot of whip parades, and honestly it got a little overwhelming for me, so I didn't watch many of those. I'm sorry. Which reminds me, I guess this was sort of a whip parade because I don't have a lot of projects going. What you've seen is basically what I've got going, except for quilting and spinning. I haven't been doing really either of those, just because sometimes in the evenings I'm just too tired and I just don't feel like doing it. I don't have the headspace for it. But some of the projects that I did, I'm checking my notes here. I guess I don't have it. People do their whip parades around the anniversary of when they started their cross stitch channel, Flosstube channel. I looked back and I guess I have like 2 anniversaries, and I think I decided to go with the one where I posted my very first video probably in 2018, which I think was sometime in September, actually. I wrote this down in the book. Yep, I posted my very first vlog in 2018 on September 10th. So September is when I will do some kind of whip parade, some like official whip parade. Because I've actually been okay with the idea of starting more projects and just kind of have them going and, you know, go as the spirit moves me, but the year has not started out like I thought it would, and I haven't been spinning that tiny decisions wheel, which I'm still surprised by that. So yeah, I guess off and on I have been posting videos since 2018, so that is 7 years. I took a big hiatus. Oh, when was it? Probably early 2020, when all the stuff started up, and I was no longer going to be home alone. I didn't want an audience when I recorded, so I decided, well, I'll just take a break. That break turned into several years, and then I started back up. I maybe this time last year? No, January-ish 2024, and then March of last year, I had some health stuff come up then too that took months and months and months to take care of, and then I was dealing with the aftermath of it. And that is, I guess, another reason why it's the main reason why I've been taking long breaks the last 6 months or so. It's not because I don't want to record. This is about the only time that I can really enthuse about my crafting. Yeah, so I mean, if I have a long break again, it's just because I'm not feeling well. I'm dealing with health crap. And I think I'm doing the Midwestern goodbye here. I'm not quite sure how to end the video. I do want to say that I thank you for taking the time to watch the video. I know there are a lot of Flosstube, QuiltTube, I'm not sure what knitting channels are called out there, but I know there is a lot of content out there by a lot of wonderful people, and you decided to watch me and have a little visit with me, and I love that. I appreciate that, and I just wanted to say thank you. The easiest ways you can support my channel, I've got a little thing here so I don't forget anything, is subscribe, comment, because I love hearing from the viewers, you the viewers, and interacting with you, because I don't spend a lot of time on Instagram. I've said it in previous videos, Instagram does not show me the things that I want to see. Actually, what they show me right now is a lot of animal videos and a lot of bird videos. And they get me. I was just complaining to my husband not too long ago that I can't tell who I'm subscribed to or not anymore with all that they show me. And I see something and I stop and I look and I think, I don't remember subscribing to this. And I said, that's how they get you. With the suggestions. And then you stop and you look at it and the algorithm goes, aha, this is what she wants to see. And no matter what I do, I have not been able to change that. And then I made it wasn't a mistake. It was, I started following I'm actually not sure what she is, but she shows different exercises. Fitness influencer, I don't know. So now all of the actual ads are related towards exercise, and now I don't know, it shows me stuff that I have no idea what's going on, and I just realized I kind of meandered away from it. Subscribe, comment, because I love hearing from you guys. If you like what you see, you know, give a thumbs up. But more importantly, I think share with a friend. Because if you like what you see and you know your friends well, they'll like what you like too. Because that's how I am with my friends. I take their suggestions very seriously, and I love checking out new channels because you never know what you might find out there. So until next time, happy crafting. Bye.